Hi, this is Mita here, and today we're going to take another look at anxiety before going on stage, before delivering a presentation, before an important meeting that gives you the chills. Anxiety, very common emotion, and it happens to a great deal of people a great many times. This is why I choose to talk about this on this channel. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, you are a leader and you want to empower yourself with public speaking skills, then subscribe now. Thank you very much for doing so. Now, when it comes to anxiety, I talk about the forces acting upon us from very different directions, like forces of the future, forces of the past. And when I say the past, what I have in mind are the limiting beliefs that have infected our minds a long time ago, and we might still suffer from their autopilot coding in a way. So limiting beliefs are like these super silent voices that cause physical stress, response reactions. Sometimes you don't even hear the fear, you just feel it. It's like this voice calling out to you from these depths of the ocean. There is just this echo-like sound, and it creates ripples and waves around you, and sometimes thunderstorms in your self-esteem, pretty much. What are you thinking? Who are you to speak? The voices say that. Are you educated enough? Are you smart enough? Are you successful enough? You know what? I have worked with many clients, helping them deal with their limitations and their inner critics and saboteurs. And I have something to say about that, because even the most educated, smartest, most successful people, by all the exterior standards, by all the external measurements, MBAs, businesses, startups that scaled up to heavens and back. You know, when the time comes for these people to stand in front of their peers, many knees start to shake on the fact that a lot of overachievers, I believe, have actually overachieved something just because that maybe that overachievement will someday silence this inner voice. You're not enough, so overachieve. It's a bit like, I'll show you limiting belief, I'll get an MBA, I'll be top of my class, and then you'll see then. You know, the thing is, it doesn't change a thing. If you don't pluck out the root of this limiting belief, you can cover it all you want. You can cover it up. It just grows and grows and grows. So this is how our brains work. They compare and compete. We are wired to compare ourselves. It's like a way to position yourself in the world. Like, depending on your point of view, you can either be better than or worse than. Doesn't mean you positioned right, okay? Usually, not a lot of people position themselves in the exact same, spot where they belong. I think it's not even important. And especially then this competitive spark kicks in. And now you're like, living your life, just making sure you're well ahead. Well, I actually believe that the way to live is just to create and contribute the most you have to give. If you're playing the game and the adrenaline is high, and all of a sudden you're not just presenting your work or your beliefs or your stories or your point of view, you've got something to prove if you are competitive. And this, my friend, is making a huge problem for speakers on stage. You have to know you've got nothing to prove about your self-worth to anybody. All you have to do is contribute because of your responsibility to humanity. That is the basic of it. Speaking, in my personal belief, is not a competitive sport. Speaking is a conversation between people. So the 5 minutes before you go on stage, when this comparison kicks in and the competition gene, starts to just get all wild, the idea is just stop. Just have all your thoughts to stop. Throughout stop. Vigorously stop your thinking process. Stop the comparison. Accept the fact that there is unity in the audience, in the sense that we all want the same things. We want happiness, we want love, we want a sense of security, we want to have some adventures, want to have some fun. We all have worries. We all have cried. So our past and our future, quite similar things. You know, we have this one thing in common, I usually say, like tears of joy and tears of sadness, both in the past and in the future, my dear friend. I promise you both sad and joyful tears you will again experience, and hopefully more of the joyful ones. Right before you go on stage, I invite you to look at your audience. Look at the humanity of the audience, of the people you are leading with your voice. See them as mere flesh and blood human beings. Like, feel the commonalities amongst us, the tears, the fears, the struggles, the persistence, the sleepless nights, the perseverance, the dreams. Dealing with this kind of shit sandwich that everybody has to deal with in their own lives. You see, the way that you see your audience, if you see them as human beings, it's gonna make it so much more easier to resonate with them. It doesn't matter who you are or what you have come to achieve. I bet you cried just like me, and I bet you laughed and loved and hoped just like I do. And this is where we're all unified. All of us are the same here. And as a speaker, I like to tap into that emotion. Right before I go on stage, I will allow myself to dive into this unity of all of us, and this really fills me up with this emotional state of just pure love. Unconditional love, no conditions attached. It doesn't matter if you are the janitor or the president. I want you to be happy both instances. And as I speak, I bring a message. As I speak, I bring a gift. I want you to have it. And here's the thing, and I want you to remember this next thing. Never push your idea on people. They don't have to accept it. They don't have to buy it. They don't have to like it. You place it in the metaphorical middle, right between yourself and the audience. Now they will choose to reach out for it with their hearts and their minds. Now, speaking from this sense of equal inner worth between all of, world creatures, this creates an amazing presence for you on stage, this humble confidence. In fact, this is a state of mind that is quite comfortable to live in also day by day. It's incredibly liberating to detach yourself from comparison and competition and just be in this create and contribute mode of life. I invite you to try it. So this is it for this video. Thank you for watching it to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment with your thoughts that you want to share with me. Subscribe if you haven't done so by now also. And take good care of you. Love yourself, no conditions attached, and make sure you also speak soon.